What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We're doing a playthrough today of Tangela, the Vine Pokemon. Go and watch this battle right here. I named Tangela Shaggy because of its hair. Yeah. So this first battle's kind of slow. There's a lot of slow battles with this Pokemon. Just be prepared for that. But this first battle, I learned the difference in Constrict and Bind. Constrict is just hits. It's just like a normal hit. And then Bind, it actually works like Wrap, where they can't attack back. So Bind's the better of the two moves there. So I'm going to go ahead and talk through this while they're battling. So if you look at it, I'm already level 10 before I even consider fighting the Bug Trainers in Bug Forest. We are weak to Poison, so that's why I decided to do that. We get poisoned on this fight here, but Tangela. So in my prediction video, I'm pretty sure I said I thought this was going to be a long, drawn-out playthrough. Just like I did in my top 10 worst Pokemon left of the last 50, I thought this was going to be a long, drawn-out playthrough. So I want to explain why. So I watch a lot of other YouTubers playing Pokemon. Just something I do. I enjoy it. And one of the YouTubers is Scott's Thoughts, and he played through this in Pokemon Yellow. Now in Yellow, Tangela doesn't get Bind until later. So he doesn't start the game with Bind. He starts the game with Constrict, and I think he might get Tail Whip later. But he doesn't get Bind until like way later. So it took him over an hour and some time in a very high level to get by Brock. So I assumed that was going to be the same fate for us. But you know, after I seen the moveset and I played a little bit, I'm like, okay, there's a drastic difference here between Constrict and Bind. It definitely adds a little bit more bang for your buck. So that's my honest opinion about why I made that prediction. And after playing through, my prediction was off. It's still. Some of the struggles were still the same struggles, but the predictions was off. So if you're watching now, if you're paying attention to the screen, I actually am just now beating our rival pretty handily. Beat him pretty handily. We are level 16 or 13. We should have. And really the goal here is I basically sprint to level 20, and I'm like, I'm going to get to level 20, and we're going to give this bad boy a try. And the Million Light Years trainer in Brock's gym isn't too difficult. Once we do Bide, we outspeed, so they can't really attack you back. If you outspeed, Bide is great because they can't really attack you back. So at 41 minutes, we get to level 20. We grinded, we got to level 20, and so now we're going to use Constrict, and we're going to use up the last of our Constricts. I basically depleted the power points down to about 8. And the whole strategy here was he's going to use Defense Curl. Defense Curl is going to up his defense, so really these are normal type moves. They're not going to do a lot of damage, but what Bind can do is prevent us from getting damage back. If we outspeed, we can go first every time, and basically do this move until he can't really attack us anymore. That's good about Bind is it's multiple turns, and so we're going to get the knockout here. Very good, and we have a lot of health left. That's what the goal was here, to have a lot of health, because Onyx can use Screech to lower our defense. He's going to use Bind. Bide, and he's gonna like deal back damage, and we don't have a move that can play Bide game, but the good news is with Bind is it only takes on the first damage we do, not the multiple damage turn part. So our goal here is to just use Bind until we run out of Bind, and then we're gonna have a more powerful move called Struggle that we're gonna use, and once Struggle happens, we are gonna start taking some damage back. We're not doing a whole lot of damage anyway. Like I said, it's a normal type move on a rock Pokemon. It doesn't do a lot, but it does enough that he really just can't do much with it, and he can't do a lot of damage to us either. So move on to Route 3, and the battles here, we're kind of over leveled at this point, so they're not hard battles, but they're still battles you gotta be mindful of, not to like just click through or not pay attention to. But I'll go ahead and go over the stats of the Pokemon while we're having these battles. The stats of this Pokemon are HP is 65, attack is 55, defense is 115, special is 100, so that's a very good special, and speed is 60. Now, here's what's weird about this Pokemon. We only get 2 special moves. 3, technically. We only use 2. We only get 3 special moves. One of them is Absorb. We get that level 29. And the other 2 are TMs. One is Mega Drain, and one is Solar Beam. So those are the only 3 moves we can get that are considered special moves. Everything else is physical. So the physical damaging moves we can get are the 2 we have right now are physical damaging moves. And then we have Body Slam we can get. We can have Hyper Beam. We can do Double Edge. So there's a lot more moves available to us for the attack. So this Pokemon really contradicts its stats. Its stats are great, but its stats don't coincide with its moveset at all. It's very non-synergistic at all. So if they were flipped, let's say we had a very high special and a very high attack and low special, I think I'd be more confident in this Pokemon in general, because the best move we can get really is Body Slam. The most reliable, good move we can get is Body Slam. We can get Hyper Beam, we can get Double Edge. All those are 85 base power or higher, and our attack would go very well with that. So that's where we had to make a concession in this. We had to decide which move to use when it comes to badge boosting. We have two moves that we can badge boost with. One is Growth. What Growth does ups your special, I think it's by a stage. Okay? And then we have Swords Dance, which ups your attack by 2 stages. Now, both of them will up your both stats. So if you up your attack stat, your badge boost is going to up your special. Okay? And then vice versa. If you do Growth by proxy, your badge boost will upgrade your attack stat. Not as much, but still. So I had to decide, do I want to go with Growth or Swords Dance? And I went with Swords Dance in this game. Okay? So this might be the longest time we've ever taken to get by Route 3. It's been a little bit. Like I said, it's a grind. And I think we're almost on using Bide. So we had to have Bide to this to have a third move. So if you've never seen Bide before, I just kind of glanced over it with Brock because I was talking. Bide is a move where if you get damaged, if you initiate Bide, if you get damaged, whatever damage you take, you'll deal back double. So if someone does 5 damaging pounds or whatever, like Pidgey or Jigglypuff could have just done, we'll deal back double whenever she's done. When it's either 2 or 3 turn Bide. Sometimes it's 4. It's very rare. But we're in Mount Moon right now. Mount Moon provides us nothing. We don't get a move. We don't get. Only thing we get is stuff we can sell. That's really all we can get. Stuff we can sell. So it's just about beating this trainer here, and the other thing about this Pokemon is about managing power points. We don't have a move that's like very powerful. Like we don't have like a one hit knockout move yet. So a lot of the things we're doing right now is about PP management. So now we get to Cerulean City, and we're facing Misty's gym. I thought I'd go for Misty's gym right away, get it knocked out, get it out of the way. And so we have Bide, Constrict, and Tackle, and we got to formulate a strategy around that. The thing about Misty is Misty will not use Bubble Beam against us. She's going to look at her typing and look at our typing and say, yeah, I'm not doing that because I'm not going to do any damage. So she's going to, her move will not be what you would consider her most powerful move, so to speak. And Goldeen has a flying type move, which could be very devastating to us. Like, yeah, it did a decent amount of damage there. So we got to be mindful of that. But we beat the trainer and we move on to Misty. So Misty is just about, you gotta get the Starmie knocked out. That's the first thing. Or Staryu. Staryu get knocked out by Bide. We do outspeed, so we could potentially not get hit at all if we do Bide it the right way. Okay, perfect. So we have full health going into Starmie, which is what I want. And then we're gonna go for Bide. She can only do Tackle or X Defend. So look how much damage we deal back whenever she attacks us. And nope, not a knockout, but we should have just gone for Bind. We could have just gone for Bind and finished the battle. But very easy battle for Misty. We beat her. We move on to our third rival fight. Third rival fight does provide some challenges. Pidgeotto does have a type advantage, but it does not have any flying moves. But the Dirty Bird still has Sand Attack, so we want to get it knocked out as quickly as possible. Bind is the best option here. It makes so you can't attack back, but we get Sand Attack regardless. So we have one stage down when it comes to our attack stat. Not going to waste our power points here, so I'm just using Constrict because Abra can't do anything but teleport. And so now we're going to use Bind. Bind will be 4 turns. Okay, there we go. 4 moves. There we go. And then Bind on the Charmander. Charmander has a type advantage. He does have a fire move, so we got to be mindful of that. So we see how much damage he did. He had about a third roughly. So he did a lot of damage. So we just got to hit another one, and this is where the accuracy comes in. Is we could potentially get ourselves knocked out just because we can't hit them. But we beat our rival, we move on, and now we're doing Nugget Bridge. So now, while we're fighting Nugget Bridge, enjoy those battles. They're all pretty straightforward, and they're pretty good wins. And now I'm going to go over the move set of this Pokemon. So we start out with Constrict and Bind. You've already seen that. Level 29, we get Absorb, and then we get 3 of the status conditioning moves. So Poison Powder, Stun Powder, and Sleep Powder. I'll go over Absorb real quick. Absorb is a 20 base power move, so not very powerful. So our move set does not progress to have a powerful move very quickly at all. But it does replenish health, and it is stab, so it actually is 30 instead of 20. And accuracy is 100% with that move, so that's good. We'll get that right at a perfect time in the game. It does replenish health, so it's very good. Moving on to our status consisting moves: Poison Powder, Stun Spore, and Sleep Powder. I really don't use any other than Sleep Powder. Sleep Powder is very overpowered in Gen 1, so it makes sense that if you have a Pokemon that can get it, to get it and use it effectively. Level 45 we get Slam, and level 49 we get Growth. Slam is kind of worthless. It's an 80 base power normal move. If we didn't get access to other moves, it'd probably be okay. But our accuracy with it's 75%, which is, in my opinion, anything below like 95 or 90 is bad. It feels like a coin flip every time you do a move. So that's our move set. And then, like I said, we had to decide between Growth and Swords Dance. And I decided on the latter, Swords Dance. And you'll see why when I go over our TM move set. So our TM move set, the ones that are significant are Body Slam, I guess Takedown, a Double Edge, and Hyper Beam would be considered four of the significant ones. Rage is insignificant. It would be great if we had Rage early, but we don't get Rage until later, where it's kind of pointless. Mega Drain and Solar Beam. So those are our two special moves I was talking about earlier. Mimic. We can mimic a move. Double Edge does nothing. We can't use. Bite I've already used. Skull Bash we're not using. Rest, Substitute, Cut. So not a lot of broadness there. Not a lot of moves. Really, there is not. Not a lot of moves there at all. So yeah, when it comes to like our attacking, it makes sense to kind of lean in a little bit towards our physical attack rather than our special attack, or special in general. So yeah, that was a concession I had to make. So if you go all in on that, you can up your growth. You can do some things with Mega Drain and Solar Beam, but both of them only have 10 power points, and you're really leaning in and hoping that it works. So why is this taking forever? Okay, there we go. I don't know why it took forever. There we go. Guess I didn't cut that out. Okay, so now we're moving on to... Alright. And this is the trainer. Spear, we take the 0. And we eradicate the Eradicate. And knock this trainer out. I've been doing them in reverse order now because that one yields more experience. And it's kind of... This one's kind of scary because this trainer has 3 Pidgeys. Her name is Sandy. They can all sand attack you, so you can lower your accuracy and really get stuck in a bind, no pun intended, with this Pokemon where you have to heal up to respond. So yeah. So now we have Absorb actually, so that's good because Absorb is a stab move. It does a little bit more than, so it doesn't do much right there than Nidoran, but it does a little bit more than Bind, and it does give us like 3 attacking moves, and we don't have to rely on Bind strategies anymore. We can actually rely on a real move. And then right here, I'm showing you that we're getting actually Body Slam, which is amazing. The Body Slam is, like I said, I think it's one of the most reliable moves in the game, especially for a Pokemon. Any Pokemon learn it, it makes sense to get it, except for like one Pokemon I've had where we had to get rid of it pretty early because they literally had no attack stat, so it did nothing, and that was Chansey. So Body Slam across the board. There's 2 knockouts. There's 3 knockouts. Do we get the 4th knockout in one shot? We do not. We tank an Ember like a boss, but we knock out the Charmeleon. Move on to Lieutenant Surge, the Trash Man. So Lieutenant Surge won't be hard. None of his electric moves are going to be super effective because we grass. We kind of have a little bit of resistance to it. The only one that's kind of a little bit scary, a little bit, is Voltorb because he can do Sonic Boom, but we knock him out pretty quickly. Pikachu is a one-shot, and his Raichu a one-shot. It is not a one-shot. It's so close, but we get the knockout regardless. And we move on from Lieutenant Surge. Very easy gym battle. And so I'm showing this area in the game. I've been kind of showing this part lately because this trainer can be tricky. The wrapping lasts here. So against us, this Pokemon, it's not very difficult. But against like most Pokemon we face, or most Pokemon we have, the first Pokemon will paralyze you, and then Bellsprout will outspeed them because of the paralyzation, and then she basically just wraps you until you get knocked out. But we outspeed and we Body Slam her, making it a very trivial battle. And most of the battles through here are actually pretty trivial. So now we're adding Poison Powder, just in case we come across a scenario where I need to use it. It's not going to get used very much. It's not useful at all, in my opinion. I think the best thing to do with it is just add it in case you need to do some chip damage for the poison, and then later you're going to add a better status conditioning move anyway. So we're healing up. We're going in Rock Cave, or Rock Tunnel as it's called, and we're in here and repel. And the trainers in here are not extremely difficult. We actually match up pretty well with most of them. A lot of them are, for example, Cubone is considered a ground type. So we match up well against him, and we match up well against the Slowpoke because it is considered water type. Okay, so that matchup goes very well in our favor. This is another Slowpoke battle, so Absorb does very well, and puts the health back, very good. And now we move on to the Static Assistant Grass Trainer, where she has I think it's an Oddish, yeah, an Oddish, and she also has a Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur tanks like a boss, but we still get the knockout. So Body Slam has really opened up and made it so we can start one-shotting some things. We didn't have really any of those capabilities before getting Body Slam with this Pokemon. Okay, we're here. We're just trying to avoid some trainers, so I'm being very precautious with the way I'm doing it. And now we're moving on to Boomer, the Hiker. He has 3 exploding Pokemon. They usually would be a problem, but Absorb will one-shot and clean house with all 3 of them. So we're going to polish off the Graveler. Very good. We beat this trainer. We move on. And there's 1 trainer left we have to fight unless we screw up and don't go the correct path. And this trainer has like a Meowth and a Pidgey. And I don't know the third Pokemon. There's a Meowth. There we go. Body Slam, one-shot. Very good on the Meowth. Oddish, okay. And then we get the knockout on the Oddish, and then 1-shot on the Pidgey. So 3 up, 3 down. Knockouts, very good. So now I immediately go to Erica's gym. And the reason why Erica's gym is important to go to is obviously I need to get Mega Drain. So I have a much more effective stab move than just Absorb. Absorb does great. Mega Drain does way better. It doubles the power of Mega Drain doubles the power of Absorb. So every battle in here is kind of critical. I want to let you guys take the credit of take notice of the time. We're an hour and 17 minutes. Okay, now we're just starting our assault on all the gyms. We don't have to overtrain. We don't have to train extra. None of that stuff is necessary with this Pokemon. I do think we visit Copper Kai to make sure that we get a couple extra levels that we're going to need for the Elite Four. But you'll see at the end, like I pretty much go very well through the Elite Four without much resistance. So I think maybe I could have done this at a little bit lower level, maybe skip a couple more battles. So you'll see. But okay, so Body Slam is not one-shotting anything, but I'm also trying to save some power points. We get poisoned. Shaggy's at level 35. Shaggy also, I know he doesn't have this kind of hair, but Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, big Scooby-Doo fan. So that's another reason why I was kind of all about yeah, let's name him Shaggy. That's pretty cool. So the trainers in here are giving us some good experience yields. We got good experience yields. I think we're level 33 when we walked in here. We've gained 2 levels so far. We're probably gonna get another one here at the end of this battle. No, we're not. Okay, so I guess we got 1 more against Execute that we can get taken care of. And it's gonna be a 2-shot. And again, that poison, man. Oh, we did not level up. Wow, I'm very surprised at that. So we heal up, we heal up, we heal up, we cure our poison. Now I move on to Victory Bell. He's going to poison us again, as usual, as for tradition. But it does waste a turn that he has to poison us. So I'm glad he poisoned us, because if we went in the battle poisoned, he might just go for attacks, and that could be scary. But I'm happy about that. So hey, that's us, Tangela. Tangela's pretty bulky. So I know from experience, I got one. So pretty bulky Pokemon. It can take a lot of hits. It doesn't get one-shot very easily. So I've learned that with this Pokemon, it really can take a lot of beating. All those vines wrapped around it must be like being wrapped in bubble wrap or something. So it's very, very protective. And so now we're moving on to the Rocket Game Corner plot line that we have to complete. And we go in here, and there's not a lot in here. The battles in here are very trivial. Once we got Body Slam, like I said, it really opened it up. Even with a low attack stat compared to the rest of our stats, it still opened up immensely for us. So now we have Mega Drain, and Mega Drain not going to one-shot everything, because, like I said, it's not a very powerful move. It's only 40 base power. It's 60 with our stab. Regardless of that, though, it does a fantastic job of taking out oppositions that are weak, have a type disadvantage, and then also replenishing our health. So we're fighting these entire teams, and we're going into Giovanni with dang near perfect health. Don't even have to heal. Don't even have to do anything. We're just going to go right for the battle. Because I know darn well I'm going to be able to 1-2, 1-shot, and 1-shot, and not a 1-shot on Kangaskhan. However, we're going to replenish some health. We end the battle with full health. So, it's a common thing. And now we're on to our 5th rival fight. 5th rival fight. Mega Drain's not going to do squat. I don't know why I went for Mega Drain. I think I'm just trying to replenish health maybe. But I should have just gone for Body Slam. I do not know why I'm going for Mega Drain. What am I doing? What are you doing, past JD? Body Slam was the move here, bud. Why did you do that? Okay, so absorb. Okay, I don't know why I did that. Okay, maybe I'm saving my power points for someone else. I don't know. Body Slam would have been a two shot at least on the I don't know why I did that. Wow, I just must have been clicking through while I was like watching YouTube or something, because that was not a good strategy for that. The best strategy there was go for Body Slam twice. You can replenish your health on a different Pokemon. Kadabra will be a one shot, very good. And now I've tempted fate to not let me get this win, and now I may rely a little bit on my a little bit of luck. That might be the best way to put it. So with a little bit of luck, we win. With 1 hit point left, we do level up, but a little bit of luck. I shouldn't need luck. Should have gone for Body Slam. I don't know what past JD was doing, but I'm gonna kick his ass next time I talk to him, because that was just stupid. Okay, so now we're moving on to Koga. Koga is actually our biggest fear, because we are pure grass type. We do not have the dual typing of grass poison like a lot of other Pokemon. So we're gonna set up Swords Dance, and we're gonna one-shot the Coughing. We're gonna one-shot the Muck. We're gonna see if we sweep the entire team. We're gonna one-shot the Coughing again, and now do we one-shot the Wheezing? I doubt it. However, it does not go for what I was fearing, which was self-destruct. But we have good defense, so it probably would knock us out anyway. And we get the win against Koga, and I just decided, you know what, let's get a couple extra levels, and we're gonna go fight Cobra Kai real quick. So we're in Cobra Kai, and if you don't know what Cobra Kai is, their mascot is actually Arbok. I don't know if you guys know that or not. It's just a fighting dojo where you can get a free Pokemon that does strength for us. And a normal playthrough, it's actually not too bad getting that Pokemon. If I had to pick between the two, I'd pick Hitmonlee all day. Hitmonlee's playthrough was one of the fast playthroughs I had, and he's just very consistent Pokemon. So, and we're almost through. Like, we've only been in here for about a minute and a half. So I'm taking a drink of my drink. Go ahead and watch this battle. And we skip over learning Slam because we learned Body Slam, which is way better. So I don't know if you've been watching my channel or not, but I am doing a playthrough series, a replay of some Pokemon, whether it's to have a better run, put out a better quality video, whatever. So one of the big ones I'm going to do is Bellsprout, because Bellsprout I played through and I basically had to level get the Slam. However, I was not aware until I did a little bit of research that if I get the Victory Bell can learn Body Slam, which is way better than Slam. So now we're moving on to our 6th rival fight. Okay, 6th rival fight. So with Swords Dance makes these battles a lot more trivial, because I can put him to sleep, Pidgeot to sleep. I can put him back to sleep. Pidgeot does have a type advantage. Obviously, does have wing attack, so that can do massive damage to us. But we get 3 setups. We're at +6 right now because of the on the attack stat. So very good. This is why I said I wanted to go with Swords Dance on growth. It's because I'm more or less going to lean on Body Slam more than leaning on Mega Drain. It's just not feasible to lean on Mega Drain because it's a less powerful move, and we can boost our attack so much with Swords Dance. Growth, I think you can do more than 3 growths, but it takes longer, and you leave yourself susceptible to getting damaged. Okay, like I said, Mega Drain does have its advantages of using it, because it does replenish your health. So like, I'm gonna fight the Marowak here, one shot, full health, almost full health, I should say, and I'm gonna go into the Giovanni fight. Didn't even save, and I'm gonna go in with such confidence because I have Mega Drain, and Mega Drain is gonna make it so I can do massive amounts of damage. Not to the Nidorino, because Nidorino is not quite ground yet. When it gets to Nidoking and Nidoqueen, it is ground, but not ground yet. So I didn't even set up on this too. I should have set up. I should take 2 seconds and set up on the Nidorino. Alright, one shot on the Rhyhorn, and Nidoqueen is also not a one shot, but it's going to be a 3 shot. That poison typing really does stop it from being a one shot. That's what holds it back. Nidoqueen is poison ground, so it does stop that from being like a thing, from being like a one shot, because of that. It counters the typing disadvantage. Now we're moving on to Sabrina. Sabrina will be a very easy setup, because all we got to do is Swords Dance a couple times. Nothing she has will be super effective against me. We have high special, and most of her moves are special. Now we're going to Body Slam through the entire team. Psychic type Pokemon, as much as they are great, they do not have high defense stat. So we get outspeed by the Alakazam. However, 4 up, 4 down, 4 knockouts in a row. And now we move on to Blaine, the Fire Gym trainer. So these are the two. This is the scariest trainer here that can mess with us. However, we get to set up on the Growlithe. We're going to put him to sleep first. Growlithe only has Ember, so if he wasn't asleep, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. And also, he's going to just give himself potions. But Ember is like his best fire damaging move, and I don't want him to use Ember. Also, I think he has Growl too. I don't want that because that's going to down my attack stat. But one hit knockout, 3 1-hit knockouts, and is there 4? That's 4 1-hit knockouts. So very easy setup on the Blaine Sir. And so we're going to be Blaine, and we're going to go right out of here. Gonna just dig right out of here. We're gonna fly right to Giovanni's gym, and we're gonna make Giovanni cry because he's like, I've just got my ass beat by this kid. I open my gym up, and 5 minutes later, this stupid kid shows up again and wants me to give him a gym badge. God, what is with this kid? Okay, so we're here, and we didn't heal. Like I said, we didn't heal. We didn't do nothing. We literally beat Blaine, and we beat him pretty handily. We didn't take any damage. So now we're in here, and we don't have to take any damage. We're not gonna any damage we take, we're gonna get right back when we face Giovanni. So that's 2 knockout, 2-hit knockout. That's a 2-hit knockout, and the last Machoke will also be a 2-hit knockout, I believe. Yes, very good. So we beat him. We beat the 2 guys we have to beat to get through here. I could have. I guess I am gonna face a couple extra trainers. So the trainers in here are very trivial because I have Mega Drain. I have a lot of them are rock type or ground type, so my moves are super effective. So, and I'm not going to be deplenished on too much health. And then for anyone that has anything other than a ground type Pokemon, Body Slam will do just fine in knocking out the Machoke and Machamp. I'm sorry, Machop and Machamp or Machoke. There we go. So it's a couple extra experience points here. We really didn't need this at the end of the day. You're going to see why here in a little bit. But we really didn't need to battle these extra trainers for extra experience. So we're just like, you know what? We're just going to go for broke. Let's go face Giovanni. We should be good enough right now to beat him. Going to heal up a little bit. Give him Max Ether to Mega Drain so that we have enough power points to get through the battle. And right now I'm saving, I think. And no, we actually want to do the stats right here. So I'm going to pause that. So here's our stats right now. I said some of our stats to start the game were not the greatest. But to start the game, like the base stats. So when I give base stats, this is what the Pokemon will average out to, and these things will average out when it comes to like by like level 50 basically. So our HP is a 65. Okay, our attack is 56. This is what's on the, like Bubblepedia. But because I don't show this part, but I actually give a couple vitamins. I give proteins. I give calciums, carbs. All those. So what I did was I mainly gave a lot of those to the speed and attack stat, because special and defense, like I didn't do much with special and defense. Look how good those 2 are. So we're going to be very bulky. Not a lot of things are going to be able to hit us hard and one-shot us, except for something maybe we're weak to. But attack and speed are very good, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a couple extra levels for the league. We're going to be well over 100 in every stat. Okay, so this Pokemon didn't have a glaring weakness. I guess the biggest weakness was attack. But look how good attack is, and it's right below. It's really right there. It's about to get to 100, and then whenever we do Swords Dance, it ups it even more whenever we do Swords Dance. So, yeah. So that's very nice. So let's go ahead and get that done, and we're going to go ahead and face Giovanni. We're going to save really fast. That's what I'm doing. Bottom right corner, Road State 1. That means we're saving. And we're going to go ahead and get this. Let's go ahead and face Giovanni. He's going to be a pretty cakewalky fight. I think I'm going to set up just for safety purposes, but I don't think I have to. I really don't think I have to. What's going to help with it though is it's going to help me outspeed. So I'm going to go ahead and outspeed the Doug Trio. So it's a 1-shot, and outspeed the Nidoqueen, and it's going to be a 2-shot. Nidoqueen is very bulky, but it's going to be a 2-shot. I outspeed the Nidoking. And then the Rhydon is going to be a 1-shot with Mega Drain. Very good. We beat Giovanni. We finish off the Giovanni Downfall trilogy, and we move on to our rival fight. Our rival fight can be tricky, and it actually gets a little bit easier here. Here's why. Pidgeot no longer has Sand Attack. So we no longer have to deal with Sand Attack from this Pokemon. And it also, if we needed to, it has a nice move in agility where we can mimic and badge boost if needed. But we use the correct move this time and body slam instead of Mega Drain on the Pidgeot, and we knock it out. 1 hit, another 1 hit, 3 1-hits so far, 4 1-hits so far. Do we one-shot the Alakazam? We do, and we outspeed very good. So we one-shot and outspeed the Charizard. He outspeeds us, but we hit harder than him right now. We probably could have taken one more. So now we're moving on to... I'm just going to skip to this part. I usually cut this stuff out. Alright, right there. So now we're moving on to Lorelei. I usually cut that out. I don't know why that's in that video. Dang. Okay, so we move on to Lorelei. Lorelei can be tricky because she's ice type. We're weak to ice. But we're going to put the Dugong to sleep. He was going to put himself to sleep eventually anyway. That's just what he does. He rests in the middle of the battle. But we're going to set up and one-shot the Dugong with Body Slam. Cloyster comes out. Cloyster, we can use Mega Drain. It'll be a one-shot as well. Very good. And then we're moving on to Slowbro. Slowbro is not going to be an easy knockout, but we don't want Slowbro to do a lot of things. Like he can up his defense. He can also lower our attack. But we get the knockout there. We get the knockout against Jinx. One shot. We did miss the first attack, but we get the one shot and not a one shot on the Lapras, but we get a paralyzed, so we get the second Body Slam on his next turn. So now we're moving on to Bruno. Bruno, we don't talk about him much. Any damage we accumulated in the last battle, we're going to replenish right there on Bruno. So that's a one-hit knockout. We're going to go for Sleeping Powder, and we're going to do a little bit of setup right here on the Hitmonchan. Probably not the best Pokemon to set up on. We probably should have done it in the Onix, because Onix can't really do any damage to us. Hitmonchan is scary because Hitmonchan does have Ice Punch and has the possibility of freezing us. Okay, it's definitely possible. I've used it before, mimicked it with the possibility of freezing another Pokemon or using it on another Pokemon. So definitely has that possibility. And now you have Machamp come out. Machamp, one shot with a Body Slam. Very good. Bruno's easy. He always is. Never talk about him because he's so simple. But we're not going to just run in and face Agatha. What we're going to do with Agatha, we're going to set up. And Agatha is going to be our only reset, I believe, in the Elite Four. And the reason why she's the only setup in the Elite Four is because moveset. You're going to see why here in 2 seconds. We're saving, and now we're going to go ahead and face Agatha. So I believe my prediction was about just trying to get it under just under 2 hours if possible. I think my conservative prediction was like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something. So we're well on pace to destroy that. So I'm Sword Dancing right now, upping our attack. Okay, and that does nothing. So the thing about Agatha is she has 3 Ghost type Pokemon. Mega Drain is the only move we have that can hit Ghosts. So this is not going to be a very fortuitous win for us. It also replenishes its own health. There's potions involved. And so very quickly we're going to run out of Mega Drain power points. We only have 12 to begin with. And I might have actually given an extra one. Or I might have given it to Body Slam, because I think we use Body Slam a little more than Mega Drain. So if we get one knocked out. Now this is not Generation 2 and on. Generation 2 and on, Struggle is considered a move that you can use to hit. You can hit anything with it. It does not have... There's not Pokemon out there that have like resistances or whatever. But in Gen 1, Struggle is considered a normal type move, so it will not hit Ghosts. So when we run out of power points for Haunter or for Mega Drain, we are not going to be able to knock out Haunter or anyone once that happens. Once we're out of power points for Mega Drain. So that's the problem. We have 3 Mega Drains left, 1 Mega Drain left after that one, and now we have nothing that can attack Ghosts. And so this is where I was trying to think, like, maybe I don't know, there's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing I can do. And I was like, shoot. So we're going to have a different strategy with this. Not a big deal. I was prepared for this. Is why I had I think it's TM31, which is Mimic. So Mimic is a move that I can literally copy a move from the opposition. So the first Pokemon that comes out is Gengar. Now here is the real conundrum that I'm having, is I'm sitting here staring at the moves like, what move do I remove? Mega Drain replenishes my health, but Body Slam is my most powerful, effective move. So which route do I go here? I went getting rid of Mega Drain. I saved before that too, because I was worried that I'm going to have to come back and make a different decision. But I made the right decision. You're going to see why here in 2 seconds. So Gengar comes out. We put the Gengar to sleep. We are confused, but we put him to sleep nonetheless. Oh, we're still confused. And he doesn't do anything to us, thank God. Mimic. So we're going to Mimic Dream Eater. Now, I don't like always relying on sleep strats, but Dream Eater is the most powerful move that I can do. Plus, it will also replenish my health if something were to happen. I get damaged. So now I'm going to Swords Dance, so that Dream Eater is way more powerful. So if I just get a Pokemon to sleep and I use Dream Eater, it's going to be a one-hit knockout. So the Golbat and the Arbok will be a one-hit knockout now too, because my stats have been modified. They're boosted. Okay. So now we have the Arbok come out. Body Slam is a one-shot, very good. And now we have the final Gengar, which final Gengar doesn't have anything that's going to be super scary, but we get the one-shot and we win and move on. So now we have to rely on mimicking a move and Body Slam only for the next 2 fights, which not a big deal. It really is not as big a deal as you might think. So we're going to do a rare candy. We don't have to full restore because we didn't lose any health in that battle, or at least if we did, we replenished it pretty quickly. And so now we're going to save right here. I made the mistake in the last playthrough I did, I think it's Chansey, where I didn't save right before this. So I had to save in the middle of this conversation. So, alright. So now we're going to move on to Lance. Lance, the dragon Pokemon trainer. And we're going to put him to sleep. We're going to Swords Dance. 1, 2. And then we're going to also go with Mimic. We're going to Mimic Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is very powerful. Our attack stat's been modified. So we're going to do Hyper Beam. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we miss, but we're not going to get much damage done to us, and 5. So we get the knockout. So that's Lance. Now we have one more Pokemon trainer to beat, and then we beat the game. So here we go. Let's go ahead and do what we gotta do. We got a full heal, a little bit of health back, very good. Rare candy, very good. Elixir, very good. And so now we're just gonna save really quick, just in case we lose. And I'll give you a little bit of spoiler: we don't lose here. We have a very good plan to set up and beat this Pokemon. So when you have a little bit of sleep strats, your strategies are a little bit relied upon sleeping, but when you have sleep powder, it's a very better percentage than most other sleeping moves. So sleep powder on the Pidgeot. It wakes itself up very fast. It's very annoying. But sleep powder nonetheless. So we're going to put him back to sleep, and we're going to take a Sky Attack. And I stand corrected. We did get knocked out. I forgot completely about that. We got knocked out one time. Damn. So yeah, when you're relying on sleep strats, if the Pokemon doesn't stay asleep, you're kind of having some issues there. So, wow, I forgot I got one shot by Sky Attack. I hate that move with a passion. Okay, so we're going to try this again, and you're going to stay asleep this time, stupid dirty bird Pidgeot. Okay, Swords Dance made me out to be a liar. 2 Swords Dances. Now we're going to have a third Swords Dance, and we're going to do Body Slam and knock it out. Very good. So now we're moving on to Alakazam. Alakazam is the Pokemon that's going to be critical for this win, because what we're going to do, we have our stats boosted. What we're going to do is we're going to copy Psychic. Psychic is a move that's going to be, it's very powerful. It's a good special move. And that's the one we're going to use to win this. So Psychic is going to be a one-shot. Oh, it's not a one-shot on the right arm, but very close. He just actually badge boosts us again. So our attack and special just went back up. Executor can be scary because it can put us to sleep. It can do leads. It does a lot of things that can just be really freaking annoying. But we're going to one-shot the Gyarados. And we have Charizard up. Charizard is our last Pokemon. We're going to put him to sleep just in case, because if he gets off a flamethrower, he can knock us out in one shot. I don't want another one shot loss. So yeah, very good. So this Pokemon's clocking in at under an hour and 56 minutes. I'm clicking through as fast as I can. Click, 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 trying to get through. And we get to the Hall of Fame. Very good. And this Hall of Fame, Tangela comes through, and that's our time right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it just play through the next couple seconds. It does a little bit of things. Okay. So, what are my thoughts on this playthrough? This playthrough, to me, was a very shocking playthrough. I was not expecting the Pokemon to get in under 2 hours. Like I said, I'd watched Scott's thoughts, and I was kind of just going off of him, like, wow, this is going to be a rough one. It wasn't as rough as I thought. After playing through, not quite as bad as I thought. You still have to grind level 20. But what actually helps this Pokemon is its defense and its special is very high. It doesn't have high HP. HP is not very good. But its defense and special really does counter its bad move pool. So that part synergizes pretty well. being able to take damage while you're chipping away at the opposition is good. And then eventually you get moves where you can replenish health while you're chipping away at that damage of the opposition. So that's pretty good. And then, though we don't have a broad move set, what I like about some Pokemon, there's some Pokemon like you have versatility, so whatever situation you come across, you have a way to beat it. What I liked about this Pokemon is some Pokemon don't have that versatility. So what's good is you'll get a strategy and you just got to make it work. You got to stick to it. You got to make it work. If you're gonna have a Swords Dance and Body Slam strats, you know what? Sleep Powder goes well with it. Watch my Farfetch'd playthrough. Farfetch'd is probably the lowest stat total for any of the flying type Pokemon in Gen 1. However, when you add Body Slam and you add Swords Dance to it, it makes it a much more effective Pokemon. It does better than the other 3 Pokemon, flying type Pokemon we had in Gen 1 that we played through as. So, yeah, if you add Sleep Strat to that, you can put the Pokemon Sleep set up very, very easily. So, very impressed with this playthrough. So if you were watching this Wednesday, I didn't put out a video. My daughter's been very sick, so I was not able to put together a video. However, there will be one coming out this coming Wednesday. It actually is a very casual video, and you'll see what I mean. It's basically Pokemon Silver, and I'm just playing through like I would just normally play through. Not anything special, not any challenge, just trying to play through and beat the game. How would I build my team? What would I build my team if I was just playing through casually as like just playing the game and not trying to put it on YouTube? So that, and then you also have the Kangaskhan playthrough that will be coming out next Friday. So look forward to that. It's going to be a very fun playthrough. I have yet to start it, and so I'm very excited to see how that playthrough plays out. I think it's going to do pretty well. Normal type Pokemon seem to have a huge advantage in the game once they get by Brock, just because of their versatility. But we will see. So I want to thank everyone for watching. This has been JD's Nerdverse. Have a good one, and see you.